Hello, everybody. Today is September 24th, Friday. As y'all know, we had Hurricane Ida. We put a few updates in to let her know that we was all right. We made it through fine, just a fence and out without power for 11 days. But it happens when you're in a hurricane. But we're fine. So today, I want to talk about a few things. Building muscles through weight training and stuff like that. On the first slide, it has a trained lifters and untrained lifting and concurrent training. To me, they have it right. Performing both resistance training, cardio, these are smaller strength gains, and just performing resistance training. And on the other side, about trained lifters, self-contained training sessions. But as they're saying here, is that cardio and strength training or resistance training can work. There's nothing saying that it doesn't work, but 20 to 25 minutes of cardio a day doesn't hurt you. It's not going to hinder your progress. I mean, some people are dead set against cardio. It has benefits. It may not build muscle, but it helps you in the long run as far as heart health, overall healthiness. It doesn't necessarily lead to big muscles like a workout like Schwarzenegger or something like that, but cardio is good benefits on other formats. So I used to shun cardio, but now I think it's a standard to have at least 20 minutes a day in your training session. It helps. It helps you with recovery, helps you heart in the long run. Overall, it'll just help. My next slide, how can strength training help you run faster? And according to this, number one says strength training protects you from aches and pains. Yeah, at first, when you start out with strength training, it's going to give you some aches and pains, but your muscles will get used to your training route, and it'll help you depending on if you have arthritis or not, or other injuries. But if you do it right, you won't hurt as bad. And then number two, it says strength training prevents sports injuries. It can, but then again, I go back to saying listen to your body and when you do any kind of training. But overall, it can prevent that. And number three, it says strength training increases the speed of strength propagation. Number four, it says strength training leads to proprioceptive gains. Strength training increases endurance. Strength training, you can do medium weight, higher reps, and help your endurance. Some people do supersets, like they'll do 2 exercises back to back with 2 different groups without a rest in between, and they'll rest 2 or 3 minutes between their sessions. So it can increase your endurance over time. And the sixth one, says targeted recovery strength training helps you to recover faster between workouts. I'm not lifting heavy because I'm doing a 5-day routine right now, but some people, when they strength train, recovery is key. So strength training and recovery, it's key to everything, is to recover the right way. Next one is like for your back muscles. You don't want to do a single muscle group once a week. It says focus on compound plus isolation work, which makes more sense. And it depends on your goals and your overall goal of what you want to accomplish. As you can see, they tell you, high protein intake, horizontal and vertical angles, but you follow what you think, but you don't want to do under calories, you don't want to do over calories. You want to have your protein intake to be what you need it to be, your macronutrients to where it needs to be. I'm still trying to figure that part out for myself. My nutrition is still good, but I'm trying to figure out my macronutrients, like my protein and fats, and what works for me and things like that. My next slide is bigger forearm. Again, everybody has preference on what they want to accomplish. With compound lifts, you don't want to do isolation exercises. You want to focus on compound lifts for total body development, and straps and grip assistant tools as a crutch. But some people want to use like gloves or straps when they do other pull down exercises or pull, but not really push. And you don't want to neglect larger muscle groups and work 2 to 3 times a week. But overall, when you build muscle, as you can go back, there's different ways to do it, but you try not to isolate. Again, I don't know a bodybuilder's routine that much because I've never really been interested in learning how they do different muscle groups to focus on. Maybe I will do a video focus on a bodybuilder's routine just to give the information of what I find, because when you have 3 or 4 different type of gym people, you have the bodybuilders who I've seen focus on certain body parts every day of the week and sculpting their muscles for that body part. Then you have the strength trainers, and you have the strongmen that like to lift heavy, and you got the ones that just like to maintain their weight. So everybody has their own outcome of what they want to accomplish from their workouts. And whether you're trained or untrained, new school, old school, first time exercising any kind of weightlifting, or a pro, you can't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone once in a while. If something's not working right, switch it up and see what might work, because from what I've learned, our bodies get used to a certain routine. We stop building muscle and things they stall for a while until you switch it up. Basically like shocking your system, I guess. That's what we do every 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. We do a new training program just so we're not doing the same thing over and over. Some people like to do that, and it might work for them if they just want to maintain weights, maintain a certain physique, and not put on weight. Then that's, to me, you can do the same routine over and over. If you're already at the pace or the place you want to be, and you just want to maintain that figure, maintain that weight, maintain that muscle groups, then you could do the same thing and it wouldn't matter. But people like me, I'm still trying to lose weight. I'm still trying to not sculpt, but trying to tighten some areas because of the loose skin. So I'm always switching up my routine, but I'm always not afraid to try a new exercise that I've never done before. There's one that we're going to incorporate in our next session called seal rows. Basically, you lay flat on your stomach and you just pull up from the floor with a flat one you use when you bench press. Saw that. And they got another machine coming to our gym called the belt squats. Basically, you just put a belt and you just pull up with your hips. I can't wait for that to come in, like a kid at Christmas. But overall, in the consensus of things, doesn't matter if you're new or been lifting weights or doing the gym your whole life, or not your whole life, because most people don't start until early teenage years. I'm not gonna say your whole life, but a majority of your life you have been lifting weights, or you just new. You gotta find that niche, and don't be afraid to ask questions. Pick the brains of anybody that's there if they're willing to give you some advice. Some people, they don't want to give you the advice. They think that you should pay them for their advice, but the internet's free. We all know that. You could find any information mostly if you want on the internet. So with that being said, hit like, subscribe, share. Any questions, comments, welcome anything. Don't be afraid to reach out. That's what we're here for. We got some new merchandise coming out next month. I'll talk more about that in my next video. And my next video coming up is going to be about, should people over 60 lift weights? And that's a pet peeve of mine. I'll get more into that next time. So thank you. Y'all have a good weekend, and I will talk to y'all next week.